the follow-up went out, but it did. So I guess, again, we can start with attendance and energy, and then we can get into the numbers, specifically how many brothers came, what landed well, what didn't, and then immediate follow-ups.
Mm.
Harvey, you saying something?
No, I'm just getting out of bed.
All right. So yeah, feedback on town hall.
I thought it went really well. Of course, we'd like to see those attendance numbers go up. But in terms of the information that was presented, it was presented well. We did have some technical difficulties on the chapter games, but you stepped right in and got that cleared up for us as well.
Oh yeah, we got to do some practice, some more intentional and targeted practice, because I know Booby felt a little bit uncomfortable with that slide deck piece of that. So good. Thanks for pointing that out. Other thoughts? Yeah, to your point, this time, the first two town halls, we had about 30 brothers attend. This time we had 11. And I don't know if that has anything to do with registration or if that has anything to do with it being the summer. But something that we definitely want to be mindful of as we move forward.
Yeah.
Go for it.
I can speak to that piece there. So we want them to register, but more importantly, we want them to attend. And I think that the registration before, we got to have a mechanism, because we know they're not going to register. Once we get them in, we can have them register, but definitely have a way so they can actually participate.
Yeah, in our communications committee meeting, we talked a little bit about that yesterday as well. And just removing, we don't know if it's the barrier, but we want to remove all barriers or potential barriers. So registration won't be the hang up moving forward. We're already using the same link. We just won't have a registration as a part of that moving forward.
Yeah, we can get them when they get in the meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're just recording attendees, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Well, I mean, part of it is if they register, they'll have an email if in the event that we cancel a meeting, or so the whole idea of them registering is not just about seeing who's thinking about coming, but a way to continue to communicate targeted messaging with the folks who registered.
Understand.
Yeah, so in the opening, when we're going through the ground rules, just have bros put their tags out there. I think we've done that, and you may have done that during the town hall, but essentially to let us, send us who you are and your email and your line's name, and we can especially leverage the Brotherhood directory in addition to the other 2 or 3 endeavors that's going that way. So maybe we just put it as part of the ground rules on this side of the table.
Got it.
Yeah, because just capturing their names as part of the recording and stuff, that's fine and well. But I think the registration, at least from my perspective, serves as a way of collecting data from the brothers, so that we have accurate information. But it seemed like on the other side, if we remove the barrier, let's just support them by saying, hey, right now, everybody put their email in there and their line name, so on and so forth.
Yeah, I think the
Thank you.
was they couldn't get the link is what the issue was, unless they registered. So we don't know who tried to register. It was kind of one of those things that we didn't know if that was a barrier or not. Because a lot of them, Harv had to send his own link for them to get in. They had to change their name.
Right.
So that's why we were saying if we take that particular barrier away, at least for the next one, then we can kind of capture truly who coming in and who's not. I
Yeah.
mean, who's coming in.
I didn't
No,
know it was linked together like that. But I understand what you're trying to do, but definitely got to get them to the table so we can feed.
no doubt. So we have a takeaway to turn off the registration and to add to the ground rules, tag expectations. Cool. What landed well and what didn't land well at the town hall. But again, if you got a chance to look at the recording, that feedback is valuable as well.
Like I told you earlier, the explanation of the chapter games was on point, and it's like it's simple enough. I mean, we've been talking about it, and we just got to keep hearing it and keep hearing it, and hopefully, as we know about it, we can explain it so that we can drive participation and enthusiasm throughout the brothers.
Got it. Anyone else? What landed well? What didn't land well?
I think pretty much all the committees did a good delivery except for my delivery with the technical stuff. But what was it? The mentorship was good. Communication was good. I think you guys on the communications had a 2-part presentation. But overall, I think everything landed well. It's just that we didn't have enough participants for some chatter to get out there beyond the emails.
Yeah,
That's all I got.
no doubt. We talked about or mentioned that there are only 11 brothers that attended this one compared to the last two where we had 60 brothers combined. So definitely trying to figure out what went right and what went wrong, and if the timing of a summer town hall might be part of the challenge.
I think this is our first time going through this. I think we're gonna have some lessons learned from this year, and we'll see what worked well, what didn't, and then we'll just make modifications after that.
Got
Yeah,
it.
there may have been more chatter than the first one, where we had the highest attendees amongst the leadership committees to the other brothers. So did anybody grab a bruh and say come to the town hall? Did anybody reach out to the brothers and say come to the town hall? Because of course the best marketing is word of mouth, and if they're not picking up the emails and registering, then they're not there. I mean, they're not gonna come. But if bro may say, man, come check us out, come check it out or whatever, come to the town hall, then maybe we'll get more. And maybe that's an action item. I don't know, but
No, I think that's each one bring one type situation. Yeah, that and let's not take any excuses from them.
Got it. Anything else? Any immediate follow-ups that need to take place regarding the town hall, or any lessons learned beyond what we've said so far?
practice. We go through the we have to go through the slideshow and a little better than we did in the leadership meeting.
Say more.
Well, we ran into the technical. Booby didn't know how to do it. Well, he didn't know how to do it because he didn't run through it in the leadership meeting. You know what I mean?
So
Stuff froze up. I mean, Flat he didn't anticipate having the technical difficulty that he had. He didn't anticipate his computer freezing. So we should have had a contingency in place just in case that happened, which you stepped up and did it. But, um, at the end of the day, one of the committee members should have stepped in and did it. So You know, just practice.
Yeah,
Got it.
with that practice, because you know, Rob says, hey, let's just do, you know, and I wasn't ready on that first day because, but you know, when it was the day before, it was ready. So, it's tough hitting those deadlines. But you know, if you can get it done, I really was working on it, but I didn't get it finished. But that's on me, and I got to do better.
Rue, any additional feedback on town hall, lessons learned, or wins that we need to celebrate before we move on? We don't have to belabor it. I just want to make sure I make space for brothers to get their feedback out there.
Flow was smooth though. The slides look good. The flow was smooth, so you can tell that we're getting better. You know what I mean? So you know, it wasn't. I mean, it was pretty smooth. Other than the technical difficulties, everything kind of went pretty smooth. So it was positive. We would like to have more brothers on there, but it definitely was positive.
I appreciate that. Flathead, I think as we continue to talk about chapter games and how it could and might evolve in the future, I think Whiskey's question of or adding a challenge is something we definitely want to think about for the next iteration as you're thinking about wrapping up your notes for the year for whoever will lead the charge next year, that we include that feedback of consider another category. How many brothers have you reached out to? Have you spoken to? I think it's the way that Whiskey phrased that. And somebody else, if you're on the call, if you caught that, and let me know too.
Yeah, for once, Whiskey made a good suggestion, and it was it's something that all districts I think are doing. We have what you call brother, you're on my mind, and he was saying let's put this category in there of checking on older brothers, checking on brothers, just checking on brothers' well-being, letting that be a challenge. So that's something that we would have to visit as far as what it would consist of overall. I mean, overall we want brothers to check on brothers, but that
Agreed.
I mean, I think it was a good idea. It's just something that we would have to try and see how we would point it out, and what it would consist of. Would it be one call, two calls, or a call a month for a period of time or whatever? But yeah, that's definitely a great idea. I mean, yeah, I got a hold of that.
Thank you. Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, during Achievement Week here in Denver for the last 7, 8 years, and then I didn't think nothing about it. We do Call a Brother Challenge. So I'll find the details and send it out. But essentially, we have a point system. If you call a brother that's between a certain era from 70 to 79, you get so many points. 80 to 89, you get so many points. If you call a brother that's out of town, you get so many points. And then we had a gift card. One year, yours truly won the challenge, but on a designated day during Achievement Week, the task is Call a Brother Challenge. And so it is not the length of call, it's the contact, and we had a spreadsheet so that you could put the name of the brother in there, as a way to drive accountability. You just can't, say, hey, I called 10 people. Like, well, who did you call? Yeah. So I'll find those details and send them out. I'm making a note now, but yeah, that's a pretty good idea. I didn't think about it, but yeah, it's in the spirit of brother. You crossed my mind. That kind of came after our piece, but yeah, we've been doing it out here for a number of years. Yeah, and I
love
think the Grand Bosselors has every Wednesday Call Four Brothers, and I think that's still on his plate. Yeah. Every Wednesday, Call Four Brothers. Is any brothers? That's his retention and reclamation.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Thanks.
No, thanks for that. And that's in the notes as well for moving forward. So next on the agenda is the calendar and tent updates. So communications committee talked, and I want to share my screen with you all. I'm gonna drop the link in the chat as well so you can follow along at your leisure. But the goal is just to see if, say it again? Oh. The goal is just to see if, to what extent we are hitting the things that we need to be hitting as we move forward. So if this chat will let me drop it in there we go. So it's just takes you right back to the communications calendar, and share my screen still. All right, so per our conversation, one of the things we talked about was making sure that the next 6 months, the communications were outlined for what we need to do. You'll notice that the last thing in June that we had was June 30th, and that's in red. I'm sure that's going to ultimately get pushed to a later date, but I'm just leaving it in red for now for that brotherhood, for that Who's Who directory. But it looks like we have about 30, 35 messages planned for the next 6 months. We can talk about whether that's enough or too many. Chapter games are going to be in purple, homecoming, and goldenrod, mentorship, and career readiness in blue, and fundraising you'll see in green when we get to those points. But really just trying to map out what this next 6 months will look like. Those things in red still need to be, they're up in the air, and those things, but everything else is really just trying to map out what the communication strategy will look like, considering we have so many competing priorities in terms of what we're trying to accomplish. And we're combining some things which should make some of this go a lot easier. But I need everyone, all the committee chairs, to really review this and see if the cadence makes sense, the flow makes sense. So that's going to be a takeaway from this particular meeting for all of the committee chairs, to see if this makes sense or if you have different things that you're thinking about, because ultimately the expectation is going to be that there's content, that we're getting that content so that we can send it out by these days. And this is really serving as each committee's roadmap, if you will. You'll also notice that per our last two conversations, we've added a couple places for snail mail so that we can mail stuff out to the brothers and targeting really the brothers from the 1950s through the 1980s with messaging going out so that they're in the loop as well. And I think we have 4 snail mail campaigns already outlined. The first one being a July mailer that will essentially have what that message will look like with some details there. So committee chairs will need to make sure that the information there is accurate so that when we put that in the mail to the brothers, the older brothers, the more seasoned brothers, they'll feel, like they're in the know of what's going on. Because, Whiskey mentioned it last week, but he said he didn't know about a lot of the stuff that's happening. So we want to get that information out there to brothers. So I don't want to belabor it, but we do need all the committee chairs to close read the master calendar and provide feedback and updates for the next meeting. It can be bullets, it could be an email, it could be a text message, but you got to give me feedback on what's working and what's not working with this particular schedule. So I'll pause there and address any questions on the calendar.
Well, you just answered my question. I was out here this afternoon, and I've got a view only. And so I did extract some of that information and put it into our committee report as a Q3 and Q4 key milestones, but I didn't know how to go about sending that feedback. And I said, well, surely they don't want me to send a form response for all of that. So by telling an email or something, I'll have ours updated to the degree that we can. And And then that way our messaging to be in sync. Yeah, I looked at the master calendar, and then that's the information I extracted. And then as I looked at the communications calendar, I said, well, how do we adjust these dates? Again, you answered it. And that Who's Who directory published, move that to July 31st. Hook, Crook, or Rook is going to go out. Yeah, we did get the notice out prior to June 30th. I think the night before I sent out previous bios. That'd be part of our report. So yeah, just move that to the 31st since you're in that application. Thanks.
No problem. Done. Okay. Any other commentary or feedback from brothers or questions about that action item of all bros need to close read the calendar and send any edits to me, Mandel, or anyone on the communications committee so we can make those? All right. Seeing no comments, I guess we're ready to move forward. The other part of this agenda item is the tent, and got some great news to share about the tent, but I also got some additional news that I'm feeling some kind of way about, and looking forward to getting some feedback from you brothers on it as well. But before I do, I just want to share that the tent is done. It's ready. They sent us pictures this week of the tent blown up so that we can have an idea on the screen in front of you. It's not fully blown up, but you get a chance to see because it's loose, but there was still air running through it. It'd be tighter right now. Just want to run through this so you brothers can see what we're going to be working with our 30 by 30 and 15 foot high tent that's ready to go. And you can see the little people over here standing next to it. But you also get an opportunity, again, you can see through it. It looks kind of dark in there. I want to show you something else in a second, but we are ready to go with this. Our QR codes are there. Okay, so that's the first thing that I wanted to share with you all. Just the pictures of where things stand with the tent. And then the next thing I want to share is it with, there we go. It comes with LED lights. So you'll get a chance to see what it looks like with the lights on inside as well. So one of the questions I think we need to talk about is ultimately going to be a tarp, whether or not we want a tarp, kind of like they have on here for us. But I anticipate we're gonna have a lot of natural light for this. So that's the good news. The challenge, and I just got another email back from our vendor, is, one second. All right, so quick but important updates on the tent. Production, like I said, is complete, and the vendor sent us those photos, but the shipping costs came in significantly more than we expected. And we've gone back and forth with the vendor, and we were able to get some of the charges knocked off, but the best way, I mean, the only other way in which we can get shipping costs knocked off is if we coordinate the shipping ourselves. So right now, the shipping cost came in at $1,800, again, significantly more. And that includes oversized freight charges due to the large dimensions of the tent. It also includes volumetric pricing, which is based on size, not weight. And it includes all taxes, tariffs, and handling prepaid. The vendor did offer a slower air freight rate, 10 to 14 days, which would, and waive the credit card or the debit card fee of 3%, which would essentially take off about $345. So for a grand total of $1455 in terms of the cost of shipping. So I wanted to be transparent here and not move forward. They're waiting on me to follow up, and I told them where the challenge is. This is coming in a lot higher than we anticipated. And so I didn't want to move forward with that until we had an opportunity to discuss this fully and get buy-in and support from board members on the call. So tonight, I need us to think about three things: confirm whether or not we want to proceed with the standard shipping, slower shipping, or do our own shipping, approve that final spend based on the budget, and then the plan right now is to have it shipped to Brent's address, which is the address on record for Project Uplift. So we're investing a lot in this, and it feels good and it's branded, but it's going to add tremendous value. But I want to make sure that we're collectively having this conversation and thoughtfully. And I have some ideas about sheltering our legacy as are running that back until we have this paid off. Next year is our early in the year fundraiser, but I'll pause there to address any questions and comments brothers might have about, or questions, comments, or excitement about the tent conversation. So that's where we are.
Where is it being shipped from?
I didn't ask that question, but I'll follow up and ask.
So, Evans, just with the attendees, go around the room. You can start with the board members and then the non-board members, but just solicit a response from everyone.
Got it. Thanks, Mandel. Go ahead, Flat. What comments or questions do you have? And I'll come back to you, Mandel.
Okay. Well, the first question is, going into this, did we know about this shipping situation?
We knew it was going to, the cost plus shipping. And we weren't able to get that price until recently. And so that was a missed opportunity.
Okay. The only other question I had was, where is it being shipped from? I'm pretty sure it's coming from Asia somewhere. But as soon as you could find that out, we could probably find an alternative shipping method. I think if it's Korea, I'll try to find a contact, and if it's China, I'm familiar with a contact that could possibly ship it to us much cheaper. But we need to find out where it's being shipped from. The sooner we can find that out, then the sooner I can find out whether or not I can get somebody to ship it for us cheaper.
Got it.
That's all
Jeff,
I have.
Appreciate it. Jeff?
Yeah, thanks. In the picture there, I couldn't tell, are there 3 open sides or just 2?
2 open sides.
The front and the back. And then thanks for the answering the lights. And will we need a generator for the air? And so we will also could use probably some fans in there too, if it's a warm day, right? And then in terms of your primary question with the shipping, I think best, next, and worst case scenario, maybe worst case, next case, best case. But we didn't come this far. We anticipated that those tariffs was going to be a barrier. And so, I leave it into your capable hands, and then any brothers that may have other contacts. And instead of let's take the slowest route, we've got a good 45 days, 50 days. So let's take the slow route, and utilize and whatever savings we can get. But at the end of the day, we've come this far. And then I agree, we tag that fundraising on the backside, because sometimes, our good brothers and our people, they got to see it first, touch it. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Mandel, I'm gonna come back to you and I'm gonna close out with you, World, on that one. Mandel, do you have any other comments?
No,
muted.
you got they pretty much covered the questions.
Got it. World, what you got?
Yeah. My first question was where it was coming from, um, and at the end of the day, um, we're gonna have to get it over here. So um, it looked like it was stateside, but that's probably not ideally correct. But where is that? Because the issue we're going to run into if it's international, FedEx and UPS is not going to be the carrier to use, but it'll be one of the international freight companies. So yeah, let's find out where it's coming from, and we're going to have to get the money together and get it here.
Thank you. I think one of the things, as we were talking about our rhythm and our cadence for money ask, whether it's membership dues, fundraising, or homecoming, having that rhythm clearly defined at the beginning of the year. And because Sheltering Our Legacy didn't pay for itself in year one, I think it might be important that we run it back year two as well, so that those funds continue to go there until it's actually it's paid off. It will be the recommendation that I have for the team and the committee. Jeff, I see you nodding. Yeah, you're in favor of that strategy. Perfect. Any other comments on this before moving the conversation forward? Again, I have 3 questions. Confirm whether we want to proceed with standard, slower, or shipping ourselves. And I hear us, we need to, go with the most economically prudent and step because we have some time. And so I appreciate you all giving me that commentary on that. If there's nothing else, we're gonna move on to the next thing on the agenda. Great. So chapter games, fundraising, and more specifically in chapter games, the Line Drive Challenge and the Song Service and Mentorship Challenge. That's where we need to make sure that we have some alignment. I shot an email to Harvey and to Flat earlier today where I was really trying to unpack what we're doing a little bit more so it's clear, because we can't afford to run chapter games in a silo. It's intimately connected to the fundraising. So as we're thinking about this, think about it on 3 fronts, but one movement. Ultimately, chapter games is an engagement engine. How can we continue to find ways to engage the brothers? More specifically, in chapter games, the Line Drive is our fundraising engine. So we had our first project early in the year, Sheltering Our Legacy, but that wasn't part of the chapter games initiative. So the Line Drive is our only fundraiser. And what I heard in our last meeting is that we're going to run the Line Drive and the Song Service and Mentorship Drive concurrently. The Song Service and Mentorship Drive is really that's the engagement right there. That's the soul of brothers being engaged along with the Line Drive. So the reality is all of us have numbers. Jeff's number is 20 mentors, 20 mentees, right? That's one of his numbers, and the number of sessions that we're having. Flat, your number is 40. We have 6 lines registered for chapter games and we need 40. So that doesn't stop because chapter games is underway. We want to continue to try to get those lines to commit and engage, because the Knowledge Challenge was first, but that's not where the bulk of the points come in. And a lot of the points that brothers can earn are going to come after the Knowledge Challenge. So we don't want their inability to participate in that challenge to limit their involvement moving forward. So 6 lines, we still need to get those other 34 lines identified and registered. We have 0% of the 20K we're supposed to register to raise for our peer-to-peer fundraiser achieved. And as we think about the launch for the Song Service and Mentorship Challenge, the mechanisms to receive all of this is set up, but we haven't received anything at this point. So what needs to happen, I tried to outline that for the committees, but for the chapter games, the Brotherhood Leadership Committee, Leadership Initiative Committee, your charge is to continue to drive registration aggressively. And that means direct follow-up with inactive lines. If you've identified the list of lines that we want, that we believe are going to participate, and maybe 40 was a bit ambitious in this first year, but we said 40, so let's continue to try to work that. Follow up with inactive lines and continue to promote and support the initiatives in chapter games. So the challenge that folks will be learning about through our communications moving forward is this next challenge, which is song service and mentorship. And folks have a number of ways in which they can submit their responses. They can submit video proof, pictures, or and they can record how many hours they've done of each. So that's what the chapter games committee really needs to focus on is, again, driving that registration, following up with inactive brothers and lines, and promoting the song service and mentorship challenge and the line drive. But the line drive is going to be in consultation with and support with the fundraising committee. Fundraising committee, your number is 20,000. And your number is also the number of fundraisers. So really need to think through who are the active fundraisers. About active, we're talking about, I just lost my train of thought. By active, let me go back to my notes. I was flowing for a second. Sorry about that, y'all. Okay, yeah, by active, we're talking about not only folks registered, we're also talking about they are spreading the word. They shared it on their social. So that's what active means. So the numbers that fundraising then needs to be tracking is total active brothers, new this week, and the total dollar amount raised. And just like chapter games is going to be aggressively driving registration, once the communication starts with the peer-to-peer fundraiser, including the instructions, fundraising committee is then at that point moving forward to say, hey, did you get your peer-to-peer? Did you get your page out? Did you get your page out? Did you get your page out? And they're collaborating with the communications team to spotlight success. So ultimately, the goal is to have weekly coordination between fundraising and chapter games, between the committee chairs, unified content, because these are now running concurrently, and a communications plan. So it's really one message that we're trying to communicate as we're going through this. So I just want to stop right there and address whatever questions bros might have. And as part of the communication strategy, we will also have FAQs that we are that we'll have for chapter games and the fundraising piece. Period. Pause.
So I have a couple of things. First,
okay, so
first, I want to be able to. I know I got the links, but I just need to know how to navigate to where I can see what lines are participating that we need to contact, and so I can, move forward with the calling campaigns. Like I spoke with you last week, we're planning on doing a calling campaign, and I have a spreadsheet. Well, actually, I'm just using the Kappa Sigma contact spreadsheet, but what I'm doing is assigning brothers years to call. So I started out with 1963 to 70. I got Brother Thomas Orr on that. And that may change to Brother Theodore Pace. I just have to call and get him to commit. Brother Orr has committed to making some phone calls. I need to get Brother Pace to commit. I have myself doing 1970 to 80? 1970 to 1974. Brother Orr is gonna again do 75, 76, and 77. And then I move on to 81, 82. What is that? From 80.
Yeah, 80.
Well, you see where I'm going with it.
Yeah.
I've stopped at what is it, 91, 1990, 89. Stopped at 89. And your email today had me change my train of thought as far as this calling campaign. So I will be including Harv on there on the list, and whoever he recommends from his side of on his committee, as well as Mandel. Well, Mandel, Booby, and Pee Wee have committed to making calls. I mean, matter of fact, Pee Wee anxious to get the calls out. But I thought there was a script out there somewhere. Is there still a script that we use? I mean, I know it will have to be altered, but didn't we have a calling script for the 85th?
So 85th?
Not the 85th, but okay. So when you put out the Google Docs, when you first put out the Google, Chapter Games headquarters here on the internet, whatever we call it, I can remember us having a script for calling brothers to participate. I was just wondering if that was still out there. If not, that's something that I need to get together, or we need to get together as a committee, in which I need help with that. And I mean, I know how we want to start off. Hello, brother. This is brother so and so. But this brother Sam Dance 3 Kappa Sigma 82, and engage. How you doing?
Yeah, we had a script for Harvey's project.
Yeah.
What for Sheltering the Legacy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you talking about, Sam.
Yep.
Yeah.
Script,
So,
and he had the different contact
Yeah,
people.
I just need a copy of that, and then we can alter that with the fundraising and chapter games. Well, for this calling campaign here.
King, what were you using to reach out to them to begin with? Did you already have a script that you were using?
I was just using my own script. I mean, I was just calling, bro. Hey, bro, how you doing? This Flathead. If I had never talked to that brother, I'd give him my real name and the year, my number, my line number, and the year I was made. How you doing this evening? The reason for my call is I need to know if you've been getting any emails from the chapter, specifically 1937 at gmail.com. I mean, Kappa Sigma Q's. That's the way I started my conversation off with these brothers, and then just let them know the reason for my call, and ask them whether they be willing. Now, what I was doing, I was asking these brothers, would they be willing to be, like the line captain, find out if their line brothers would be willing to participate, or are they going to participate in homecoming chapter games? And I let them know that we were on the knowledge challenge at that time. And I called probably about 30 brothers.
Yeah. You
So
can
from
get
30
through
different lines?
Yeah, from different years. I started with what's his name, brother? The brother from Detroit. They got all the McDonald's. He and I had a nice conversation.
Well, see,
60 something, 70. What? Potts, John Potts. What year is Potts? I just started at the top of the list that I had and went down, calling brothers from each year.
King, whenever you call brothers, you need to, I'm just thinking back to Brother Orr running a popcorn drive this year because he didn't have the right messages. So We need to
Okay.
make sure the key messages are tight before we have a calling campaign. We can't shoot from the hip with this because we want everyone having the same information. So if you send me the script that you've been working with, I can update it or work with you to update it so it has the appropriate key messages in it moving forward.
Rob, you didn't hear what I said, did you? I didn't have a script. What I was telling you is what I said to the brothers when I called them. Now, I get what you're saying. Everything needs to be uniform. Well, we're not even gonna go into that. I did what I did because I felt that was needed because I wasn't getting any support that I thought I was gonna get. However, what I'm doing, I'm using that as I'm using that as an example of showing you how I approach the brothers, but I'm asking for us to uniform a script and move forward with it from here.
Rue, bro.
Got it.
Rue.
Uh,
Rue. 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 Script. Yep.
Yep.
And I'm sorry, Rob. I'm probably jumping ahead of you. So because I sent you a message to include me and put me down for the 78 to 80 or whatever gap you got in there from TO through
Okay.
you. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
you can even put me in at the 81 line, but you know, give me the 78, 80, 81 if you need be. But so when are you looking to launch this campaign? Any thoughts in that space? In lieu of the one vision, one goal memo?
Here is how the voter friend works. Well, I definitely, it will definitely be after the next meeting, which is Monday. I will try, well, I'm gonna have to give a Harvard and probably do a combined meeting. That would be the best thing for me. But moving forward, I mean, Monday, I want to get the communication. I mean, I want to get it started next week. Long story short, whatever day, it's going to be after Monday. But I'd like to get the calling campaign started then after Monday. We're going into the 4th of July Friday. So I think Monday, after Monday's meeting, I mean, I'm going to try and finalize this list of who's going to call who. Matter of fact, let me put Brother Smith's name right here. I'm going to finalize this list because I pretty much got the 80s all the way up to the 90s covered. Well, up to the 90s, so we're going to move from the 90s all the way up to the present, which I'll look at some of these lines, you know, have 10, 12, 15 on them. We'll be splitting that up once, once I have every year covered. Because some of the, like, you know, I got Brother Orr from 63 to 70. You know, that's quite a few years. But if you look at the numbers, it's only probably about 13 people. But
So Sam,
to answer your question, Jeff, I will try to finalize this list before Monday's meeting, and contact everyone. Before Monday. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I said contact and get solidified. Yes, I will help you call, or I will join the campaign, or no. Which I already know the people that's gonna do it. So I'll have this finalized. We meet on it Monday. Everybody say, let's go. We pull the trigger Monday. After Monday's meeting, we pull the trigger. The calling campaign starts. I don't know if we want to target certain. I know we want to
take a breath, dog. Take a breath. Get the questions in. Take a breath.
Okay, go ahead.
I got two inquiries. Take a breath.
Go ahead.
One question was, where are we keeping the registration information? All of the lines that are participating, if you're looking at the master tracker that we established, it has everything that we should be tracking throughout the year. So we have our homecoming registration there, how much money raised, who, by who, and when. And we're also including on there our scoreboard for, which includes the registration for chapter games. You can see the lines that we have here and how they perform, and this will be updated throughout. So I'm only right now, we only have registration as lines and not as individuals at this point. So just wanted to put that piece out there. If you need the link again to the master tracker, I could drop that in the chat right now. Jeff, did you have anything else before I get to Mandel?
Yeah. Two things. One, Sam, let's talk offline because I told you before with respect that I'll help you update that, that master spreadsheet. So let's talk offline to get that. And then number two, I can appreciate the calling campaign. Take it up through the 90s, if you will. But let's think about our demographics. Guys made this spring back to, even if we dropped it back to 2015, these guys are tech savvy. Let's break off some of this, get it to the communications team, let them help us out with communicating to these more recent brothers. Granted, I put 1998 and older. The 99 is definitely tech savvy. But let's focus our calling on that demographics and this most recent demographics from 2000 up, 1999 and up. Let's hit them with the text first or something to that degree. Let's work a little smarter, but let's talk offline, get the documents updated, and then we can take a stab at that as script so you'll have it for Monday's meeting. And send the meeting notice out because my committee meets on that Monday night at 7:30 p.m. Central Time. So I think you meet at 6, right? Or 7?
Yeah, at 6.
Yeah. So send that meeting notice out. But I'll commit and I'll have Rob take a look at it in terms of that script so that we're all on the same page with the messaging. That's all I have. Thank you.
Go ahead, Mandel.
So, and to Brother Jeff's point, I did send over an email that for Flat. I think Flat, you did look at it, but I just left the registration date out. Rob, I sent it to you as well for you to review. That's the content for the email for the line challenge and the song and the song challenge. So that also gives instructions on how to upload their song. I mean that email's pretty in depth, but that's ready to roll. So I'm gonna put it back. It's gonna go through Mailchimp, so you wasn't able to edit it flat because of the way I sent it. I can send it from my work email, so you wasn't really able to edit it. But if you send me those edits, via text or call me or whatever, then I can make whatever edits to it that you need made to it. And Rob actually he sees it as well, so you can send it to him as well. And of course he'll double check it. So that's the communication that's going out to the brothers. Now as far as as far as the dates that it's going out, as soon as you make those, as soon as you just let me know that it's good to go, then we can get it into the email rotation and the SMS rotation. But yeah, I mean, once you let me know, and we meet Monday, so once you let me know that it's good to go, then we can actually get it into rotation. But we need to get it into rotation ASAP because this challenge started July 1st.
Well, Mandel, look at the email again. I should have put chronological order, which all you gotta do is move the song service and mentorship up first, and then the line challenge, and then the registration challenge last. And we need to. I think one of the dates is ending in has November on it. October.
Yeah.
Well, no, all of them have September. The
Well, one of them
registration,
has September 30th.
September.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I took those dates from the slides. I actually copied and pasted them from the slide deck from the town hall.
Okay, so the registration, the part for homecoming, that one, I thought we said would go all the way up until October like a week before homecoming or something,
Well, I don't know if I even put
or
homecoming
all the way
on there.
through homecoming.
I
I don't
don't
know.
know if I
I
even
thought we
put
said
homecoming on there at all.
well,
I don't think I
the
put homecoming.
registration is a part. Homecoming registration, you get points for that too.
Okay, so I need to add the homecoming. 'Cause I
No,
don't
you
think
don't. No, you don't have to add it. Registration. Well, yeah, I guess so. Because Rob, what do we have? 3 different registrations? No, 2 different registrations. Or is it all combined? You have your chapter games to register and then set up your link for your friends and family giving, and then we have homecoming registration.
so. Just critique it. Just critique it for me. When you just look it over. Tell me what I'm missing. I'll get it added, and then we'll go back through it. Monday in the meeting, and
Okay.
then that way, because communications meets on Tuesday, and that way we can line it up to go out.
Okay, gotcha.
All right. Thanks, Mandel. Flat, you got anything? I'm sorry, not Flat. Harvey, you got anything?
Only thing I have is, I don't know if it's gonna work for this one, but whoever does Brent's videos, we need to get them. I think this particular project would lend itself well because we could break it down and get that out. But I don't know if there's a cost involved, but their videos look very, very nice. So let's see if we can find out who's doing theirs, and we can hook one up for us.
You talking about the videos for for Sundress and Lennon?
Yeah.
Lamont.
He
That
does.
bro, he did, huh? What'd you say, Har?
I said, oh, okay. So okay.
You know, he did he did pictures for homecoming, what?
Couple
I
years
know
back.
definitely the
Yeah.
first year after COVID and during COVID. But
Any
anyway,
other comments?
I can check on that.
Yeah, that's all I got.
All right.
Harvey, did you have any questions or comments about the weekly metrics that when we come to these meetings, what I'm gonna be asking you, like how many bros are active, how many have gotten that information out? I want to spend a little time just showing you brothers that back end of the line drive. But I want to make sure, see if you had any questions first.
Because I knew,
comments.
Because I had a chance to look at the front, so I could take a look at the back end and see how that's looking. I can have that information for you on Wednesday.
I got one more comment. The tracker flat, maybe something that you can look at as well as far as who's registering for homecoming. And you can grab and we may be able to target those specific lines from the people that are actually registering for homecoming to send some information to get them registered for chapter game.
Great point, because we are including the years for those brothers as well. And if you were to look at that tracker that I just put in there for you all, if you go to the homecoming registration tracker, you have all the brothers who are signed up so far. And there's 77, 87, 91, 85, 75, 81. Those are brothers and lines that we could really be targeting because they've already registered for homecoming. Now it's just about activating them for this other part as well. So great point, Mandel.
Cool. Okay, I'll work with Sam on that, but I think we were good till you threw this whipped cream and cherry on top. So that's the kind of feedback you need to like offer us. Don't add another piece of the puzzle because we already got it 3 pieces missing. So let me get with Sam. Again, we're still talking about the 4th of July weekend. Try to get this. I found those emails that we talked about, the call-in script. I'm gonna insert the contact list, how it was set up, so that we can turn this around for his Monday meeting. But you showed me these things here. Now, where is this located?
This is the Master Project Uplift Master Tracker. So you can find it in the hub, and it's going to be in a folder labeled Master Trackers and Data.
Okay.
So that's the name of that particular folder, Master Trackers and Data. So if you open it up, you'll see all of the things where we have trackers, and it's all feeding back into this Master Tracker spreadsheet that I have on the screen in front of you now.
All right. All right.
So those are actually tabbed side by side when you're helping him out. There's the scoreboard that has the lines and the individuals who register for homecoming in their line year as well. So those are side by side.
This is so. Let me back up 1/2 a second here.
Okay.
Let me get the link out of the chat. If I can, because I'm still looking at the master calendar.
Yeah. So we have the. Yep.
Yeah. Got it.
So yeah, we got the master calendar, and we have the master tracker. The tracker will have, again, everything. It's meant to tie all of us together so that we're seeing what's happening across the board.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Yeah. So Harv, we ready to move on to sharing and talking about the peer-to-peer piece back in? Okay. So this is what folks are going to have an opportunity to do. I'm in here. This is the Line Drive 2025. It is set up as a peer-to-peer already. You get a chance to see the content is already built out. Chapter Games, Line Drive 2025. What we'll ultimately end up doing is inviting different fundraisers. They'll have their own page, but it'll all feed back into the master page. It has all of the details for us on what we're doing, our goals of why. I want to make sure I have the right dates. Fundraising ends, that one's September 30th or August 15th? September 30th. So let me change that on here so we're all on the same page. Got it. Okay, I'll make that change. And so essentially everyone will get this page. They can edit and add information per their liking for their folks about their line. But this is the general information they'll ultimately have as well. So right now, if we were to, everyone on this call should be getting the chapter game emails because we have a segment that is labeled chapter games. And I think we have like about 40 bros in that group representing the 6 lines that are engaged. The next step for that group and anybody that we put in that segment is to launch the peer-to-peer fundraiser with the explanation and instructions. And send it out. But I'll pause again to take any questions that brothers might have about that.
So Rob, that link is in the email that we're receiving?
Right now, it's nowhere.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's got to be created.
No. We haven't launched we haven't invited folks to be fundraisers yet. Okay. Once we invite them to be fundraisers, they'll have that link so they can say, yes, I'm gonna be a fundraiser and here's my page. So It's essentially, once you click it, you get a chance to copy that content, make whatever adjustments you want to make for your network, but know that all of those will feed right back into the master bucket. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it has the double good popcorn concept,
Yeah, I understand that.
right? I mean,
Yep.
for simplistic terms.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is there apparatus where we can pull, like if I want to use my directory on my phone, can we pull those in like that, or that'll be a manual type situation?
What do you mean directory on your phone?
So I got contacts on my phone, so I can, like with the other thing, I can it'll come through and ask you, do you want to add folks off your phone? But this is probably more of a manual process where we add folks off our phone to invite them to participate.
Folks meaning brothers, or folks meaning our networks?
Networks.
Oh yeah. You can send this however you want to send this. You can send it to them as a link from your phone. You can send it to them as an email page. However
Okay.
you want to get that information to them, you can.
Well, can they download his contacts into this program and send it out that way? So can he download, create his page, download his contacts, the phone numbers and names into this platform, and the platform shoots out that email or sends out that text message?
Yes. Let me show you right now on my end, and let me make sure I'm understanding correctly, because I think I understand what you're saying. Right now, if I were to go with chapter, I'm gonna go. Oh, here it is, chapter games. So I just want to see the brothers who are in chapter games right now. So this segment I'll continue to add to as brothers register. So yeah, 37 contacts are in here. Your question about sending this out, campaign.
Can he import contacts into this?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. I'll, you know what? I don't have an answer to that right now.
Okay.
I'll investigate and find out.
Okay, no problem. And what we're going to have to do is any individual who is the chair for their year, if you will, is actually walk them through setting it up.
All right, so we should start with this group
Okay.
so that everybody's on the same page. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because the wheel comes out on the know-how.
So I'm inviting fundraiser right now. Gotta log in first. I'm gonna invite everybody on the call to be a fundraiser, and then you go through and tell me what you see on your end, your experience with it, and then we'll go from there. How's that sound?
Yep.
How are we going to receive the invite? Via text, email, or what?
You're gonna get it via email. So I'll do this soon as we get off, or I can do it while we only got wait, but it's gonna take me a few minutes to put everybody's information in. If you want to wait and see that.
Well, send it to me. I can share my screen.
Bet.
Ugh.
I was gonna
So I
say
have
you
that.
got
You have
Harvey in
that.
there. Harvey's
I
still
got
yarning.
I got that
Say
email
what?
address right, team.
Yep.
All right.
I said you were still yarning, so putting your name in there.
Oh, no, I'm not feeling good, dog.
Oh, okay. All right.
So
But I was highly motivated to make the beat so I could get this piece of the knowledge right here.
Yeah.
all right, Jeff, you should be receiving something via email now.
I still got hamsters working for me. Come
All
on.
good.
Come on.
Oh boy.
Hey, you probably need to go to mute, dog.
I'm trying to hang tough, dog. I don't want to quit. I'm not
No,
gonna drop.
you ain't gotta quit. All right, so I got two emails. I've got, oh no, here it is. My bad. I'm reading my own email. All right. Let me share my screen.
Got it. Mandel, your invite gonna be in your inbox too. I'm just gonna add everybody. Okay. So this is what you see. This is the user experience.
Okay. I use a donor box. Okay. Easy to delete if you fundraise first sign up. So is this the same? These two are the same? Create your
Mm-hmm.
account and get started?
Yep.
Oh. Didn't I go through? Oh, password strength. All right. Pick it up.
Okay.
All right.
So you in.
Okay.
And now you have the option, if you hit edit, you can edit some of your, you can edit your content that you want to send to your people. You have an opportunity to turn on the notifications so that you get information when brothers have made or your network has made a gift.
Okay. And how do I do that? In settings?
Right where it says campaign notifications, you click campaign email notifications.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
You go to account. Did you click on it? It's still on campaigns.
Yeah. So they got hamsters over here, bro.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Okay.
All right, come on.
Rob, you said that like it's true.
Hey, go back and get some rest. You on mute.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not.
Well, step one is get in. Team notification settings. Down at the bottom. I'm gonna go on the back end. Let me see. I got four on my end. I got 4 fundraisers listed. Did you click on edit team, the pencil, and see what happens there? Now you have the opportunity to edit some of it. Okay, yeah. This is where you can begin editing your own page. And I guess we need to make sure the instructions are clear on what happens here. And then if you were to go back, you click the you can either go down and continue to add to your story, or if you that arrow that says fundraising page back.
Okay.
You see the places where you get an opportunity, and if you click that preview, the fundraiser page, you'll see whatever edits you make, you'll be able to preview them here.
Okay.
Right there when you click that. Yep. So this is what your page will look like, and in your link, you'll see your name at the end of your link in the URL bar. So any changes that need to be made, or any content that you want to add to it, you'll have the option to do that.
Okay.
So, and individual goals, you don't have to put 20 as your goal. You can say, my goal is going to be $100. That's what I'm trying to raise. And you'll have the opportunity to edit your goal as well, even though the larger goal is still going to be 20.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does that make sense? So you have the option to edit some of this.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. So everyone needs to just, play around on the back end. You can't mess up anything on my end. So play around on the back end with the fundraising page and add your edits.
Hey, Rob, on the first part where it says where the message goes, you've been invited to participate in the Lion Challenge, Chapter Games Lion Challenge. Can you put your name in front of that, or?
Yes.
Okay.
You can, in the edit
Could
page,
I put you've been invited to Flats campaign on the Chapter Games Lion Challenge?
You better recognize your line.
so if you were,
That's just an example, Har.
I know you mess with it.
you can do that in the edit when you're editing team.
Okay.
So if you want, we can sit down. I can go over it with you to make sure it's clear. But you can do that during in the edit part.
Okay.
I'm gonna be home tomorrow, so I'm gonna play around with this because I can
I'm
got a
off
whole
tomorrow
bunch
too.
add some photos up in there for the line and all that fun stuff.
If I'm off tomorrow, if you got questions, I'm like, just let me know.
Okay.
All right. So everybody continue to, that's an action item for folks to play around with that as we move forward. So
when are we going live?
I think Flat said his meeting was Monday.
Okay.
And
We
then
should be live now, but I mean, this was a great learning session, and I mean, yeah, definitely it's going to be, after Monday's meeting.
Okay.
All right. So with that, that's on my end. That's the agenda. The communications, our team, we have a lot of content we need to build out. And if you have homework to make sure that you look at it and see if there's things you want to switch, so we can begin to try to get in front of as much of the content as we can and get those things scheduled. We understand stuff might change, but that's the charge. So let's do for the good of the order. Then we'll go through these action items and then we'll wrap it up. Unless I'm missing anything. Cool beans. Mandel, for the good of the order.
Great meeting, as always. We did get some things accomplished here today, and we got to learn a few things because I didn't know anything about that donor box, so that was pretty good. All right there for me. And as soon as you get when you guys get a chance, go ahead and look that email over and send me what I need to change on it, so I can get it back to you. And then Monday, when the meeting rolls around Monday, we can get it finalized for the communications meeting Tuesday to get lined up.
Thank you. For the good of the order, Jeff.
Productive meeting. It's clear to me that probably in the next number of weeks, we're going to have to communicate outside of our committee meetings and outside of this leadership meeting. So I think probably in the next 30 days, to the degree that we can, we need to increase our communications so that we can cut down on this time and really get to, what are the obstacles, where can we get the small wins in terms of getting stuff done, because it's clear that we could use this time for additional work, but this, let's go back to where this is a readout and increase our communications in between the committee meeting and also the this major meeting. That's my good of the order.
Thank you. Flat, for the good of the order.
Good meeting, brothers. Very productive, like Jeff said. Mandel and Jeff and Rob, if you guys can text me available time, I'm gonna be wide open Friday. I'll be on the grill, but I have time to talk. Tomorrow I'll have some time, probably between 12:31. I know definitely after 3 I'm free. So just text me some when you guys want to hook up. The sooner the better.
Yeah, not Friday for me.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, hey, Sunday, Monday, whatever. Just text me when you think you'll be free, and we, how you want to communicate. Again, good meeting. Let's keep it moving. We got momentum, so let's keep it going. Thanks for everybody's help on my end. That's all I got.
Thank you. All right. World, what you got for the good of the order?
I made it through. Had beat PT earlier, and this was the second Hayes, but it was good information. I'm going to spend some time tomorrow on my system, taking a look at what we got. And if I have any questions on the back end, I'll try to get the information on the numbers and whatnot. I'll reach out.
All right. So in terms of action items coming out of here, we got some directed at the town hall, like turn off the registration to ensure that there are no barriers in place, and add tag information as a part of the ground rules. We want to also add additional practice time before our next town hall for the committee leadership. Jeff is going to investigate and get us some details about the Call a Brother Challenge. We also have an action item of all committee chairs I need to close read the calendar, the communications calendar, to make sure that we're all on the same page with the comms that we have going out. I know that I have an action item to investigate where the tent is being shipped from, and a best case, worst case scenario we need to look at when we're investigating the international freight companies that might be able to support what we're doing. There's an action item of developing a script for a calling campaign that will begin, looks like the second week of July. Jeff is going to be a part of and is willing to call brothers too, but encouraged us to do some targeted messaging, SMS to younger brothers, and use the calling campaign for the older brothers. In terms of, we need to make sure that we develop an action item that I have, or the communications committee has, that we develop content for SMS communications, just like we would for the calling campaign, so that those key messages are being delivered. I have to change the peer-to-peer goal from August 15th to September 30th. I need to change that. And investigate whether or not we can import contacts for the peer-to-peer fundraiser. Those are all the action items that I captured in my notes. If I missed any, please let me know. But with that, we are ready to close this joint out with some prayer, unless I missed anything.
Contact list. Did you say that in there?
I did not. What am I doing with the contact list?
Right, Sam, you need a contact list. Actually, it's part of the email I just sent with the script and the contact list that I had as of March 1. Yep.
Okay. I'll add that to my notes.
And what's our total on registered for homecoming, folks?
The total registered for homecoming is 19 brothers, and Yohanse knows he has 81 that he needs to be pushing. We talked about his number last week and in between the week, making sure that he's really pushing, because each week that's the number I want to know, like how many. That's the only thing I want to know from him, how many. And I say the same thing for other communities too.
Yeah, I saw Jada line in Detroit. I asked everybody, like, y'all got your stuff in? Everybody said yeah, just like do you have a 2.5? So I told them don't have me check the list. You're not on there. Well, hey, you got to word these folks, man. But yeah, I'm good.
All right. Well, brothers, I appreciate your time. I'll close us out in prayer. Every head bowed, every eye closed. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for the opportunity to gather. Thank you for friendship. Thank you for all your many wonderful blessings. Lord, we thank you for waking us up in our right mind and giving us the ability to be engaged in this type of conversation. Lord, right now, we ask you to continue to watch over our friends and families that are not on this call, but that might need your blessings. So those folks that are sick or are going through challenging moments at this particular point in their life, we ask that, that you support them navigating those journeys. All these things we ask in Jesus' name, amen.
Right.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
I'll holler at y'all later, brothers.
Amen.
True.
True.